This is the easiest fish, bone meal, and ink farm for Minecraft Bedrock. Yes, you heard that right, fish, bones, and ink. So settle in and let's build. Alright, first things first, what do we think of the Christmas sweater? I think it looks absolutely ridiculous and I love it. But the real reason why I have to cut in here is because we are going to choose where we build the farm depending on what we want. So in an 8-hour AFK session, if you build the farm in a lake biome, then you can expect to get about 8 stacks of bones, but 12 stacks of ink. However, if you build in an ocean biome, you can expect to get about 24 stacks of bones and 4 stacks of ink. So do with that as you will. If you want to get more ink, build it in a lake. If you want to get more bones, build it in the ocean. Alright, building this thing is actually incredibly simple after you know where you're going to build it. So I'm going to build this one in a lake, and all we're going to do is go down to the surface of the ocean floor or whatever, and we're going to build up to the surface level here. We're then going to place down a temporary block and then a soul sand, remove that temporary block. We're going to count out 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 soul sand, and then 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to create a giant rectangle, and we have to fill in this entire thing with soul sand. On top of that, we are going to remove this block here, place down a magma block, and create a strip of magma blocks going across the center here. And then we're going to do the same thing, soul sand, and then build another 16 by 8 platform. Alright, after placing down all of your soul sand, this is what the platform should look like, and this is actually going to be the bulk of the farm. But we're going to come underneath here now, place down a block on your post, and we can actually go ahead and remove this post. Just like that. Go ahead and place down a block right here, or leave it like I did, and we're going to create a block strip that goes all the way across the magma, temporary block right here, and then a block right here. Go ahead and remove that block. We're then going to place down a lever on this magma block and go ahead and flick that lever. Same thing over here, flick that lever, and then we're going to grab our chest. We're going to grab our chest, place down a temporary block right here, and then a double chest. Whoops, double chest. Remove these 3 blocks and replace them with hoppers. So that is 3 hoppers. We're then going to place down a powered rail on that hopper, and then run regular rail across this strip. And then on this last block here, we're going to place down a powered rail. This is going to be the collection system for the farm, and all you have to do is place down a minecart hopper, and it's going to bounce back and forth. Now you shouldn't have any problems, however, if you do, let's just go ahead and cover this up with our blocks. That way nothing like a squid or a fish can actually get in there and knock the minecart, which will stop it from going back and forth. So by having it contained like this, we don't have to worry about the minecart stopping. It's just always going to be moving. Next, we're going to come up to our spawn platform now, and we're going to place down a block on top of that lever, and we're going to place down a block on top of this lever. We're then going to create a rim of blocks going all the way across this spawn platform, so all of the soul sand, magma, all of that needs to be contained by a single rim, just like so. And then let's go ahead and connect it up, and then we're going to make this 2 blocks tall, so we're going to do another rim of blocks. Alright, next we need to make sure that there is no water inside of this magma strip, so to do that we're just going to use signs, and we're going to place down a sign, and I'm just going to select this, and then we're just going to place down 32 signs, 2 signs tall in this center strip here, just like this, all the way through all 16 magma blocks, which will be a total of 32 signs. After we're done placing down our signs here, we're actually going to grab our water, and this is arguably the worst part of the entire farm, because we need to place down water buckets across this entire thing. And if you're in survival mode, just going back and forth with the water buckets is a little bit monotonous, but we're just going to go ahead and fill in both sides of this soul sand with water source blocks. That's very important. These have to be source blocks. And after placing down all of your source blocks, we have this now. And this is actually the worst part of the entire farm. So we're almost there, is we're just going to place down half slabs on the upper side so that the bottom retains that water. That is very important. Make sure that you place it on the top side of the block here. And we're only going to do one side at a time. That way you only need 128 slabs instead of 256. It's not really a point in doing both sides, because then you're just wasting slabs. Once you have all of your slabs down, we're going to place down water source blocks all the way across this rim here, which is going to make water flow all the way over to this chamber. Now we're going to remove all of these slabs. I know we just put them in, but all that was to do is to make sure that we could have a water stream on the top layer, which is going to push all of the fish into that center block. So we're going to remove all of these slabs and then do the exact same thing on the other side. And after removing all of your slabs and you have those water streams, this is what it should look like. It's kind of like a very wide V shape. And now all we have left to do is to build our AFK platform. So we're going to place down a block on this chest to the side. Then we're going to place down our scaffolding going all the way to this rim right here. And then we're going to place down 24 more. So 1, 2, 3, 24 more. And after building up 24 blocks with your scaffolding, you could also use a ladder if you wanted, but I like scaffolding more. You can see we already have squid spawning. We're going to build over 7 blocks now. So we're going to build over more than 7 blocks. We're going to build over 3 blocks, and then we're going to build over 7 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 blocks, which is 10 blocks. 10 building blocks from the scaffolding. We're then going to place down 2 glass blocks, and we're going to place down a rim of blocks going around there. Now the glass is purely decorational, but I like being able to see all the fish, and it just makes it a little bit more eventful when you're AFKing. Now if you are AFKing in a survival world, then I would highly recommend covering yourself because phantoms can get you. So just box yourself in. Alright, I have been AFK'd for about an hour now, and as you can see, we have salmon down there, so if we just go ahead and jump in the water, there's one advantage of building over a lake or an ocean. Go ahead and look in here. As you can see, we've got about a stack of bones, and we've got 4 stacks of fish, and we've also got quite a bit of ink. You know, I'm really not sure what to call this farm because I just did the math, and in an 8-hour AFK session, you would get 32 stacks of salmon, 8 stacks of bones, and 12 stacks of ink. So I am more inclined to call this an ink farm or a fish farm than I am a bone meal farm, but still, 8 stacks of bones is 24 stacks of bone meal every AFK session, assuming you're AFKing for about 8 hours. Alright, I went ahead and rebuilt the farm in an ocean biome. Before we were in a lake biome, now we're in an ocean biome, and as you can see, we've got tropical fish, and we had cod, and we have salmon, so there are a lot more fish varieties here, which means that they're going to spawn much more frequently. And in fact, that was only 30 minutes of AFKing. I didn't feel like sitting here for another hour, and so we actually got 3 stacks of bones. We got 3 times more bones and much more fish, but we got less ink. So I guess if you want more bones, build it in an ocean biome, if you want more fish, and if you would rather have ink stacks, then you should build it in a lake or a river biome. Alright, but that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, then be sure to subscribe and leave a like. My name is OneUpMC, and I will catch you in the next one.